Hi and welcome to this short clip going through how you might approach a level question on acids and indicators from an A2 perspective. So it's got a little bit of first year in it obviously because it's talking about a set of titration data, but it's an A2 question because you've got Ka values and you've also got an instruction to suggest with a reason suitable indicator. So looking at the first thing you've got to do, it says describe how the standard solution of HClO3 could be made up from solid HClO3 pellets. That means you've got to start by calculating the actual number of moles of HClO3. But you need to do it using moles equals mass over molar mass. So the easy part of the set of tasks is to calculate the missing titration table values, and then slightly harder is choosing the indicator because you have to work out the pH based on the hydrogen ion concentration of the acid that you're given. So during the course of this clip from now on, I'm going to be moving the page on the left up the screen so we can work our way through the calculations. So the first thing to do is to make up the standard solution of HClO3. So we need to move the page down a little bit so that we can do our calculation. So the first thing to do is to use the mass per mole, so the molar mass of HClO3, and also the number of moles of HClO3 that you've got in the standard solution, which I've now highlighted in yellow. So with these two pieces of information, I can rearrange moles equals mass over molar mass to work out how many moles I've actually got. Sorry, to work out the mass I would need. I know how many moles I've got. So I want to work out the mass. So that gives me 4.225 grams of HClO3 solid. So just moving the page down a little bit. So not forgetting, of course, what you actually have to do with that sample of solid pellets of HClO3. You need to add it to deionized water in a 250 centimeter cube volumetric flask and make up to the mark, and you can invert it to mix it thoroughly. So now we can have a look at how to calculate the missing values in the table. This shouldn't take too long. So you might want to grab your calculator and work alongside me on this. So I'm going to work on the premise that the titer is always going to be the final volume minus the starting volume. So my first one is obviously going to be 0.00. And when you're quoting volumes, particularly in titration work, remember that the burette measures to the nearest 0.05 centimeters cubed. So that's what you've got to quote to, hence it's always going to be 2 decimal places. So although it's quite straightforward to work out those values, it would be easy to get this wrong if you didn't put the right number of decimal places, or even more precisely if you didn't quote the volumes to plus or minus 0.05 centimeters cubed. So what we can do now is to work out the pH of our acid, and then from that work out the equivalent indicator, or the appropriate indicator. So I've got to move the page down slightly for this. So if we look at the question, I'm just going to move it down so you can see. Ka is 10, which I've now highlighted with an arrow just so you can see. So if we move the page back down again, we have a Ka of 10 moles per decimeter to the minus 3. So what we've got to do is work out how to get at the H plus of the Ka expression. Now we can use the two concordant titers to work out the concentration of aqueous ammonia. Now indeed that's one of the things we were meant to do. I forgot to mention that earlier, or I skipped, didn't I, to go on to calculating the pH. But you have to be able to know the concentration of ammonia to get the Ka expression to work for you here. So inadvertently we're doing that second section, anyway. So to get this value, you have to do a little bit of mathematical manipulation. First you have to work out how many moles of HClO3 there are in 25 centimeters cubed. We know that there's 0.05 in 250 centimeters cubed. So we know we've got 0.005 moles in 25 centimeters cubed, and taking the average titer based on the two concordant titers for the ammonia, that's 43.45. Now that has to be divided by 1,000 because obviously it's in moles per decimeter to the minus 3. And the assumption I'm making is that the number of moles of NH3 is equal to the number of moles of HClO3 at neutralization, as acid is monoprotic, so they react in a 1-to-1 mole ratio, is what I'm trying to say. So I can use the number of moles of HClO3 as my equivalent number of moles of NH3. So, if we work that out, that gives us 0.115 moles per decimeter to the minus 3. So, because this is taking slightly longer than a normal level question, it's always a good idea to check every now and then, are you following your plan? So we've made up the solution from the solid pellets. We've filled in the missing titration type table values, so now what we can do is make some room to finish off our calculation. Because what we haven't done yet is choose the indicator based on the pH calculated from the H plus concentration. I'm just going to move the page down a little bit. So remembering that our HClO3 was 0.200 moles per decimeter to the minus 3, and that we can also assume that the concentration of H plus and the concentration of ClO3 minus will be the same, because in weak acids you can make the assumption that if they're monoprotic, you'll get equimolar quantities, like so. So you can rearrange the equation by square rooting Ka times the concentration of your HClO3 to give you the concentration of H+, which gives you root 2, which is 1.414213.562. So remembering to stick to calculator values. That gives us a pH of minus 0.15. That means that you've got a very strong acid, which is supported by its high Ka value. So, how would you choose a suitable indicator? Well, looking at the pH ranges of the indicators. So the pH range of methyl orange is around 3 to 4. This titration, it would appear, is a strong acid weak base titration. So the likely equivalence point of a strong acid weak base is going to be quite low in the pH range, because it's going to be dominated by the action of the strong acid, as opposed to the relatively weak action of the weak base in terms of dissociation. So therefore your indicator that you want is methyl orange. So although this is a slightly harder, I would say, level question, hopefully it's been useful to give you some ideas about how to approach a question like this if it were to come up in your paper. So for now, thanks for listening, and until next time, see you soon.